I'm Chris Williams from Cyclone Fanatic and a proud Iowa State graduate from the class of 2007. No one shows up like Iowa State fans. And Cyclones support Cyclones on and off the field. Your gift can provide scholarships to students, fund groundbreaking research. We can even drum up opportunities for the marching band. Visit MoveWhatMatters.com to learn how you can make an impact today.
He's the prime cut passer from behind the meat counter. It's Fairway Frank. And introducing a 6'3" center who's a cut above the rest. Say hello to Audie Crooks.
Everyone, welcome back to the Cyclone Fanatic pregame show. I'm your host, Leah Nelson. Chelsea Poppens will be joining me in the studio as always to talk about your Iowa State women's basketball team taking on number 20 West Virginia today at noon in Morgantown. And we'll get into it after we talk about our sponsors. Starting off with Channel Seed. Once again, they are the title sponsor for both the men's and women's shows this year, so we're super excited to have them on board. Great people, great Iowa State Cyclone fans, so we love Channel Seed and our friends over at Fairway Meat and Grocery. If you want great produce, products, anything and everything, check out Fairway Meat and Grocery, but not today. They're closed on Sunday, so go sometime later this week. So thanks to our sponsors. But Chelsea, we got a big game today. Obviously, we're looking for a good win to start the week after a tough game yesterday against Iowa State and West Virginia in the men's side. But what can we kind of expect from the West Virginia women's team today?
Yeah, so they have a good guard presence. They have Quinley, they have Harrison, her kind of their dynamic duo, their package deal. They like to drive the paint. They like their mid-range jumpers, and they're a good free throw shooting team all around. But I think when it comes to the post matchup, it's like Audie Crooks is going to obviously dominate like she always does. But they do have some 6'3" presence that are probably going to match up against Crooks. I don't see them as a huge threat. They're not much of an offensive threat. If anything, they're just going to be there to just try to disrupt Crooks, which nobody's really been able to do that well. I mean, minus Texas Tech and a little bit in that first half of the last game. But they do have Shaw as a good three-point shooter on the outside, and we can't sleep on her. And then Kaya Watson is their forward who's going to who leads the team in like rebounds and steals. But she's a guard too. So a largely guard dominant team. And I think they're aggressive. They're going to full court press. They're going to put some pressure on the perimeter players. And so I think it's going to be a good game like always, but I think if there's ever going to be any weaknesses, like they're coming off a game versus Colorado where they had a lot of turnovers and they weren't able to find a groove. So hopefully that's the same today, that Iowa State can disrupt that, for some turnovers and put them back. They've kind of been, their shot selection hasn't been quality. So that would be something for Iowa State to kind of force them into those bad positions and force them to take not great shots.
I think it's important too that we talk about Emily Ryan's situation. I just saw a tweet that it looks like she's got an illness and she won't be playing today. She wasn't suited up. So what does that mean for Iowa State today, and who needs to step up to kind of help out with Emily's absence?
Man.
I know, literally 5 minutes before we started recording, it was like, oh, dang it.
My heart hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I mean, everyone knows that Emily Ryan is a key part of the Iowa State offense as a veteran leader and court general out there. If nothing else, from a positive note, it gives Reagan Wilson a chance. I know you're positive, so I'm leaning into it. It gives Reagan Wilson a chance to step up and sink or swim, baptism by fire, get in there, get the minutes, lead the team the way you can. But also, I think it's going to force player. We need Sydney Harris. She can't have a night off. She can't show up and not make points. I think the last game was a little dysfunctional, but Iowa State's had that kind of balance of people scoring and people showing up between AJ and Kelsey Jones coming in and with more minutes than she typically has, and kind of that engine, that rebound, that energy that she brings. And so honestly, that Emily out forces everybody else to level up their game 10 times more. And that means more players are going to get minutes, whether that's Tanky, whether that's Wilson, or other people are going to be touching the ball more. And so, I mean, it's good all around, because not to say like we need to rely on Emily Ryan. She is our key player, but to have other players that can step in and take some of those minutes and lead the team vocally, but also on the court, I think is another huge factor.
I was going to say, we've talked about that on so many pregame and postgame shows where we just want, those younger players to step up and be able to take a role like Emily. And this is, although it sucks that Emily is out and we never want anyone to be sick or injured, but it forces them, like you said, to really have to step up. And Emily's such a great teammate. She's going to be helping out on the bench, coaching them when people come off, telling them what they need to do. So it's not like she's necessarily like, yes, she's out of the game, but she's still going to be really helping the team. Besides Emily, what does Iowa State really need to hone in on today to put up a good fight and hopefully come out with a win against West Virginia?
Yeah. I mean, if you look at previous games for West Virginia, some of the games that they've lost, they've been out-rebounded. So if Iowa State can actually lean into that and step up the rebounding game with Crooks and Brown and Kelsey Jones going in the paint and getting in the big territory, I think we can get it. I think we just have to lock down on that defense, and the offense will come, just like it has in the past couple games.
Anything on West Virginia's defense? I mean, I was looking in and they've got some Big 12 leaders in steals last season. And so they force a lot of turnovers. They force 15 plus turnovers in every game this season. So what does that kind of mean for Iowa State as well?
It just means that they're going to apply pressure. Like you said, that full court press is going to be there. They're going to extend that 3-point line. They're going to be applying pressure, which in turn would leave Crooks open down low. They might switch things up, obviously, because Crooks has been so dominant in double figures. But that just means they're either going to double, they're guard dominant. So that means they're used to playing the perimeter and being quick and like shiesty. So, I mean, Iowa State's just going to have to level up the offensive threat, and that in and out game. They've done much better job moving the ball across the court, in and out. And lately, like if we are looking back at the last couple games, we've done such a tremendous job of actually moving the ball than we have prior in the earlier season games. So if we can just do what we've been doing and keep it translated to today, even though Emily Ryan's out, I think we got it.
Even Audie said it in the press conference last game, like if the game's working with points in the paint, like it's working with points in the paint. No reason to have to chuck up threes. And I said this before we started recording, but now they can start a new streak of three-pointers.
I know it's disappointing that we broke the 3-point
streak. But hey, Audie said it in the post, the conference, like, hey, why it's working. So I'm going to keep making those easy layups, and
I'm not going to say no to an easy bucket.
That's exactly. So it's going to be a great game. I'm excited. I'm hoping there's a big turnout. I mean, the men's teams had a wonderful crowd, and I'm hoping a lot of people decide to come out to West Virginia and watch the girls play as well. So noon tip-off. It's going to be exciting, and go Cyclones, and tune back in for Chelsea and I to do the post game.